Time to give the old Merc a nice service, oil and filter change, and charge the old marine battery, so it's a bit low. Grease the front end and find out why it's been hard to start while hot. It's one of three things: sticky needles and seats, so it's flooding, battery low volts at crank, which is quite a possibility, or there's a problem in the ignition system whilst cranking. When warm, it can't supply enough volts to the coil to make a good spark, because when you let go of the key it fires to life sometimes, strangely. Like, that's when it will fire the most, when you let go of the key. So I think there's a voltage issue somewhere, and this model doesn't run the crank wire to the coil through a relay, which gives it full 12 volts at crank instead of going through a ballast, which only gives it about 7. So yeah, I'll test that first with a test light and crank it and see how dim the damn thing gets. Go for a drive and see, get it, bad. No, I'll just give it a bit of a tune, idling a bit fast. So, that's about all for today. And I got this wretched thing out of the boot of the Merc. It's heavy. Like, oh. It takes two of you to move it. Like, those steel cap boots. That's heavy. Make a lot of damage if it fell off a trailer and a car hit it. Let's put it that way. It's got this little rotatey disc thing. I saw it in a previous video called What Is This? It's been worked out to possibly be some sort of die press or something to press things. So I think I'll just give it to Ed, because I have no use for this. Might be able to crush some things under it, because here's the magic bar that crushes it. That's a decent magic bar. Right, yeah. So, it's heavy, it's big, it's useless to me. But shit, it's heavy. Well, here's the battery in the Mercedes. I just took it off charge, that's why it's slowly going down in voltage. I'll show you something interesting that I found, and you should test for this if you're having problems with the battery in your car. Here's the positive probe, and I touch it on the positive, get a good connection, there we go. Now let's touch it, let's say here on the battery itself. Ooh, would you look at that? Let's touch it here. Ooh, would you look at that? Maybe let's touch it here on the bracket. Ooh, would you look at that? Maybe let's touch it over here next to the negative. There we go. That's on the bracket near the negative. So, there's some discharge problems because of moisture and acid on this battery. So you better check for this sort of thing, because that's a good way to send your battery flat. Over here is not too bad. If you got voltage there, you'd have a real problem. But yeah, so I gotta take it out and wash it. Alright, well, time to start this. Now last night, I greased the front end and gave it an oil change and a general check over. I don't want it starting straight away now, so I just want to crank it until I get a bit of oil pressure, and then I'll let it, then I'll try and actively start it by pumping fuel. Now I haven't got the battery connected. Now the battery's connected. My little helper did it, so let's see if it's connected enough. Ooh. That battery does sound tired still. This thing used to spin over really quickly. I'll give it a wash and another charge and see what it does. Because all the cells were doing what they should be doing, but it is old. That battery's probably about 6 or 10 years old now. Go and just loosen and retighten that connection again, just in case it's that. Alright, we've retightened the connection, but the battery's probably rooted. That's a bit better. Come on, let's get some oil pressure. So I did pre-fill the filter, but it's always good to get oil pressure so it's not running dry until it fills everything. I don't think this battery's going to let me. Oh well, let's pump the gas like 3 times. See where I let go of the key and she just fires? That's really weird. Nah, I think I've lost her. Oh well. I'll put a new battery in now. Oh, I've stuffed another battery in. I'd say the other one's rooted. Ooh, it's happy now. That's with no pumps of gas. I'm just seeing how it cranks. Oh, let's get it to start. Beautiful. Oh, that seems like a happy battery. That might solve my starting problems now. Excellent. Oh, that's a while later. I've already been for a drive and it's warmed up and cooled down again, but let's see how it starts. Oh yeah, that's good. I didn't realise how bad that battery had got. Oh well, it's fixed now. Oh, I gotta put that seat cover on properly, but I got a cat on my seat. And today, well, now I'm going to look at the Jag because it's not starting very well. I think the starter motor's shut itself or there's a bad connection somewhere. So the Merc's happy now with the new battery. I'll show you what I mean. Like, it's cold at the moment, but it's full battery, good battery. Can't really do better than that, and when it's hot it's even worse. I'm going to crank it a little bit now and then get underneath and see what's warm. Oh, I'll see if I can get it any better than that. New starter is supposedly $400. Yeah, bugger that. Alright, now after that cranking, I've come under the bonnet here and started touching things, all the connections. And as I suspected, I found that the connection down at the solenoid there is bloody untouchably hot. So first I'll clean up that connection and maybe even pull the solenoid apart and have a quick look-see. So let's see if we can get this fixed without spending any money. That's always fun. But first comes things first, let's disconnect the battery. Well, I've had to fiddle around with that terminal and everything in between, so let's see if it cranks any better now. I've got the gas turned off so it won't start. Oh yeah, that sounds happy, yeah. Cool. Yeah, before it used to just bog down and wouldn't really turn properly. Mad. Oh, now I'm going to go somewhere, so let's see how it starts cold. Oh, that's heaps better. Oh, that saved a bit of money. Cool, 2 fixes. Oh, I've been for a small drive and now it's warm and this is set for 5 minutes. This is when it normally wouldn't start. Oh, beautiful. I just got to turn right on an interesting corner in the wet. So, see what happens. That's fun. That corner's are easy as hell because of all the trees over it. It's very easy to swap ends there. Coming up to another fairly interesting corner under trees again and weird cambers. I'll put the camera over here